Welcome to Thrones and Scones. It's your weekday morning podcast where we talk about Game of Thrones over breakfast. It's Tony, Hans, and Jeremy in with you today, hitting season 4, episode 3, Breaker of Chains. Oh,
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. You guys notice this camel commercial's back on TV?
Is it? I was. That's so weird because I was just thinking about that commercial and I was thinking, oh, that was a pretty funty commercial back in the day.
Can you name what it's a commercial for?
No, and that's exactly what I
Geico.
was trying to think. I was like, what the hell is that a commercial for? I knew it was funny, but I can't remember.
So it's a failed commercial then, if you can't.
Is it Geico?
It is Geico, yeah.
Hump day.
Hump day. Brenda, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Hump day.
Yeah, they're bringing it back. So
It's a classic.
Yeah, so was the other Geico one. I saw the caveman when he's in the airport and he looks at the picture.
It's back?
Yeah.
really,
Or he has his.
I
He has his.
thought they gave up on the
tens.
caveman.
Wow. Awesome. Okay. Hey, look at that.
I give Geico credit. They do some
Commercials
good. They do some
returning.
good commercials. Not as probably as good as Doritos. Doritos did some great commercials.
I think Doritos tries too hard is the problem.
Now they used to
yeah.
not try so hard. They used
Well,
to
honestly,
be great.
Doritos' funniest commercials are the ones when they just let other people make them.
Yeah, it's true.
Did they do that this
you
year for the Super Bowl?
I don't remember what their
they
thing
did the
was.
contest like the last 2 years, I think, where they had
I don't know.
user
I thought
submissions.
last year was the Morgan Freeman Missy Elliott one.
So maybe they only did that the 1 year then.
I don't know.
What was the E-Trade? Was that the one that did the baby that would be like talking to you as they were working on like a calculator and then mom would put him back in the crib or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that was it. That was good. I like that one.
Fun fact, the guy who directed those E-Trade baby commercials was in the broadcasting program that I was in at the college that I went to.
Oh shit!
So that's my claim to
Claim
fame.
fame.
No wonder you're so
yeah,
popular and famous.
I once went to the same college that years prior.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I've got the wiki pulled up for once in my goddamn life.
Do you?
And
Tony, I'm sorry. I did just before we get off topic because once we start the show, obviously I'm going to be dead serious.
Of course.
Do you think that guy? I mean, he's got to, right? He probably says, like, he's listening to your radio show. Obviously, he's listening to this podcast. Probably both.
He must be.
And he's saying like, oh. Did you know I went to to the same broadcasting program as this Tony Jones? And then he's like, that's,
Claim to
claim to
fame.
fame.
That's my claim to fame. Meanwhile, the, whatever hookers he's hanging out with in the commercial version of Hollywood are just like, come back to bed. I don't remember his name. But like tugging on him, like, come back to bed. And he's like, shut up, woman. I'll never be as good as him.
I'll never be as good.
It's my dream. All right, I'm gonna hit you with the plot real quick so we can recenter our brains on Game of Thrones, if that's okay.
You're hitting that wiki?
I'm gonna hit the wiki.
I think I would like you guys. Speaking of kind of advertisements, the movie trailer,
Yes.
action movie trailer guy, the In a World. That guy, Tony, you got that guy?
It's my dream that I would sound even slightly like him when I try, but let's give it a whirl. Season 4, Episode 3, Breaker of Chains. In a world where Tyrion ponders his options, Tywin extends an olive branch. Sam realizes Castle Black isn't safe, and Jon proposes a bold plan. The Hound teaches Arya the way things are. Dany chooses her champion. If they could just eliminate some of the periods and put in some junctions, then these would be much better.
I wish it would show who typed these up, like who in Wiki got this, because sometimes they're really, really short.
Well, my plan now is the problem is now I'm going to give it away, but I'm not going to do it anytime soon. Maybe next episode. I'm not going to tell you. But my plan now is to get on that wiki and just write some messed up shit that Tony will unexpectedly just start saying.
Just start reading?
Yeah.
What you should do, because I've already forgot to mention it, so I'll double back. you say blah, 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 blah. And you end the wiki, the plot thing with, all right, the Hound teaches Arya the way things are. Dany chooses her champion. Maple nut. You got to get that scone flavor thrown in as well.
That's a good idea. So it's and it'll be in with the accent too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, welcome to season 4, episode 3, The Breaker of Chains. We had an interesting episode here. Not my favorite, not my least favorite. There were a couple good moments and some boring stuff. But we open up on Sansa Stark escaping King's Landing, and her savior-to-be, Ser Dantos, delivers her into the loving arms of one Littlefinger, Peter Baelish, who promptly shoots him in the throat. Yeah. What do you guys think of that?
Yeah. This episode was a little boring for me.
A little boring for you.
Yeah. My least favorite episode so far.
Do you think that it had anything to do with them spending about 6 minutes, Tywin talking to Tommen over the corpse of his brother about what a good king should be, and then them walking away and him 100% starting the sex talk?
Yeah, actually that scene didn't bother me. That one was fine.
Could you, and it's like, I got a laugh, chuckle the first time, and then I was like, okay, picture me, 14, and it's my grandpa giving me the sex talk.
After you're literally staring at your dead brother.
Yeah.
And then that's really when you want that sex talk.
I do have to struggle to figure out Tommen's age and what they try to make him in this show, because I think in the books he's like 9 years old.
Yeah, he's
like
young.
he is very much a kid.
This kid's like 17.
And here he's like 16, 17, something like that. But it looks, at this point, looks pretty on par with Joffrey. Like a hair younger, but it kind of looks like they just painted some rouge on him and called it a day. And then I would like to get it out of the way so I can get it out of my mouth and we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Thank you.
The weirdest, stupidest, most nonsensical, fucked up Jaime scene in the whole series.
Yep.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't even get what the point of this was.
Yep.
And I remember there were, even if you don't watch the show, what we're referring to, because when this episode aired, there was backlash for days online. And it's essentially Jaime talking to his sister/lover over the corpse of their dead bastard son. That old trope.
That old chestnut.
The first time I watched this, I was totally thrown off. Here, I will admit that I kind of understand it more. Like, you see her begging him, pleading with him to avenge him and blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. You see her kind of leaning into the kiss, and then when she pulls away from him again, you kind of see the wheels turn in his head. Like, he recognizes that she's using him, not that she's being affectionate towards him, and it kind of sets him off. But then he just straight up rapes her.
Straight up rapes her.
That's where he loses me, and I would say most people.
Yeah.
In a place where a lot of people probably have access to, right?
You got to imagine somebody,
right?
the janitor of Baylor Sept. It's a big place.
It's a big place.
What? I guess why? Like, what? Was this something that Jaime would do at this point? I don't really maybe see that.
Was it the last episode that he was kind of begging her for something?
No, it was season 3.
Oh, I was like, I trying to remember the episode.
I don't even recall, but it was like, might have been episode 1.
He's like, I've been back for weeks or months or something.
Yeah,
we haven't,
it was
and
episode
then
1. And
now this. So time is so well laid out in the show. You always know. So
yeah, when they broke up.
Yeah,
and it's just such a weird scene, and it would be one thing. I mean, a bummer because we like Jaime. It would be one thing if this like totally altered his character and he went in a darker direction, but he does not. In fact, I don't even know if this is ever mentioned again. Just kind of happens, and it's stupid as hell.
Yeah, I kind of just wish it wasn't in the series at all.
So this was bad, but I also thought the Arya Hound and the farmer scene stuff was kind of like odd to me, because the Hound's being their back and forth, their relationship is, I think, going well. He's lightening up, she's getting a little more hard, and yet in this scene it's like, I just beat him up, took his coins, let's leave. I'm like, okay, that was what the fuck was the point of this scene?
Yeah, I thought that was even before that bit, it was kind of a shakeup in the Hound's progress that he's made as well. Like, he's just kind of very abrupt and very odd and very demanding of this guy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, is then super deceptive and stuff. And I guess they've set him out to be desperate enough to do it, but
I didn't get that prior to this scene. I was like, oh, well. And she's just accepting of it. She's like, oh, okay. Yeah, guess everything's just back the way it used to be. Even though, we fought together and had our chickens. You gave me a horse.
Yeah.
Because you care about me. Like you did my sister. Didn't rape her.
On a lighter note, it's so much fun having Janos Slint back. Don't you agree? He's been in for a couple episodes up at the wall.
Oh, at the wall, yeah. Old leader of the King's Watch?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, okay. I had to think about who that was for a minute. Yeah, he's a dickhead.
Nothing else needs to be said.
Sorry,
that's really, that's very succinct. He is a dickhead, and hopefully somebody will take that dickhead right off his dick shoulders someday. We'll see. Up at the wall again, another thing I didn't really like, Sam deciding that this fortified castle is no place for this lady, so I might as well send her
to a whorehouse.
This whorehouse in this brothel town where, by the way, all of these seedy brothers that he's talking about go anyway. Do you think that they're more likely to rape Gilly amongst a bunch of their fellow officers who could turn them in, or a bunch of whores
who they're there to rape anyway?
Yeah. Now she's safe.
Yeah.
Perfect place to raise a baby.
Yeah, I get his mentality, but the execution is poor, and you can't hardly blame her for not really going along with it. The more I'm talking about it, there wasn't a ton redeeming to this episode. We get introduced to Ollie, and it's honestly at this point really hard to see Ollie. I don't like looking at his face, knowing the emotional trauma that he causes me.
God, I can't remember. Who the hell's Ollie?
He's the little kid.
Oh,
yeah.
That they send to the wall or Castle Black.
Yes. Although I will say, I knew that the wildlings killed Ollie's parents. I kind of forgot that they showed it, and in such graphic detail, especially with the Then guy telling him, like, "Is that you loving mom? I'm gonna eat her."
Yeah, that's not. I totally forgot those guys eat people.
How? Well, they.
I'm so glad
that's acceptable because they really glossed over it.
I know. I'm so glad that they reminded me again.
I did like the scene between Tywin and Oberyn. It wasn't particularly exciting, but I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought that was good too. Actually, the scenes with Oberyn in it are probably the most redeeming quality, or the most redeeming moments of this episode.
It certainly pads out our jugglies section.
Yeah, sure does. With that good old Oberyn gangbang.
couple ladies and
couple dudes.
I don't remember his name, but he's the guy who basically seduced Loras into giving the deets about the old Sansa wedding.
He looks like Joffrey to me, like an older version of Joffrey.
Actually, funny thing, it's the actor who plays Tommen Baratheon. It's not.
It's just it's their one insert naked dude here guy. They just use that guy for everything.
Yeah. We did for the first time see his penis though.
We did.
Did we?
Jugglies. Did we see it this up?
Did you guys rewind it and double check that?
No, because it was pretty dark and I was going to have to get close to the screen.
Han's like, "Yep, did that."
I actually didn't. I didn't even notice. I'm thoroughly embarrassed that I missed this.
Unlike Hodor, not very well manscaped at all. But which is odd because he's a very smooth fella otherwise.
Yeah, is this during the said gangbang?
It's when Tywin walks in and then they all walk out.
Oh, okay. I totally missed it.
Just get a little full frontal on. Damn it. Well, it wasn't the only penis in the episode. Did you catch the other one?
No, are you kidding me? Oh, wait, no. I did catch this one.
It is the underside of a Myronese penis.
Yep.
Urinating onto desert.
The Marine champ.
It was a very interesting angle to shoot this from, really.
Yes, that was good.
That was a good, that, I mentioned it a couple episodes ago. That fight, if you want to call it that, where Dario just chucks the dagger into the horse's eye and then cuts the dude's head off, is awesome.
Yeah, it was sweet.
That entire scene, and it's just had a very Troy feel to me. We were talking earlier about some Brad Pitt action, but I don't know what it is about like one person running at another, even though he's on horseback. It just felt that entire scene felt very Troy-like.
Oh yeah, the whole like call your champion thing is the beginning of Troy. Yeah, Achilles. It's a good movie. Great film.
Great
it's
film.
Your favorite, is it not?
It's up there. It's up there. Although I have my issues with this Achilles movie. Let me get on my little soapbox for a second. The Blu-ray.
Oh yeah.
Only comes in director's cut. Okay, which adds it makes the movie much longer. It adds a lot of stuff that's really not. It changes the movie for me, and not in a good way. And maybe that's because I've seen the original movie so many times. But yeah, they just didn't. They only have the director's cut on Blu-ray. They don't let you get the theatrical cut. You have to get that on DVD or whatever. I don't know how the digital version works. Who knows? But basically, right now, the only way to watch it in HD is this damn director's cut, which I just am not a big fan of.
It changes the music too, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the music just is. They add more like traditional music, which is fine. I respect that. But let me tell you, traditional, I guess would that be like Greek or whatever that music is. It's horseshit. Sounds terrible.
Does not get the blood pumping.
We'll say Trojan, that way I don't actually offend anyone. Traditional Trojan music.
Traditional Trojan music. It's just the sound of slightly taut rubber slapping against skin.
Yeah, there's like a scene, and I'm absolutely confident that I'm completely exaggerating this, but this chick is just like belting like these kind of off tune, like random, very like chromatic notes, and it's just hurts the ears, and it's like it's like a solid 10 minutes of this over top of the scene, and it's supposed to be this real dramatic scene towards the end where a lot of people are dying, and like they have died, and they're doing like the funeral burial or like burnings and all this stuff, and this chick's like just yelling, and it's so like, oh, it's bad.
So Daenerys, she makes this show of flinging these giant barrels into the city that are housed within a bunch of former slave collars, to inspire the people. However, here's the thing. It's also a bunch of barrels flung into the city via catapult that could very easily still kill people.
Yeah, that was in big like caps. That's what I wrote on my thing. I'm like, did she not realize these will absolutely kill the people she's trying to save? Like, don't worry. There's just a bunch of heavy metal chains in them. Heavy metal collars and stuff.
What I was thinking the entire time is like, wait, so you're giving slave masters more collars to put on people?
It's like, here, recycle, reduce, reuse.
Hey guys, I found some of these. Thought I'd return them to you. Put them to good use.
Yeah, it's just eco-conscious of Danny.
She is the great recycler.
Yeah, that was a pretty big hole for me. And honestly, that's the end of my notes. We've covered everything.
Yeah, I did touch on every single thing I possibly wrote down, right down to the Myronese penis. Jeremy, you got anything else?
Yeah, just from a standpoint of the story. God, Davos. Davos, with the whole learning to read, and then suddenly is like, wait a minute, we can go to the Iron Bank and we can make friends there. It's very short, but it's really the beginning of that story for him. So
sure, yeah, I didn't mind that. My favorite part of the episode, probably the fight scene, right?
Yeah, the fight scene was
same.
That was the only thing worth commenting on, really.
I think so. Wait, and is everybody saying that the worst part is Jamie?
Well, yes, worst part of the series is Jamie.
So we are in full agreement on the episode. Then I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, so it was rapey.
Not. Well, then, since we're flying high and feeling good, can I tell you about this scone that I have here?
I have one more comment that we did glance over. I'm sorry.
So are you saying no?
I'm saying no.
You're saying no. Okay,
I'm saying
that's
no
fine.
to the
Go ahead.
scone. I just don't want to spend too. We haven't talked about the episode a lot. I don't want to spend too much time on the scone. I want to keep the balance.
I respect that.
The other scene I did like that we didn't talk about, I do like when Podrick visits Tyrion in the cell. You get that kind of more emotional moment.
He pulls all those things out of his ass.
Yeah.
I brought you cheese.
Just
more
imagine
cheese.
if Brad Pitt is just pulling that stuff out of his out of his head. He just keeps
Tyrion's
it in.
Put it in my mouth.
But yeah, I really liked that a lot. I thought that was really good. That was the only other thing I think that's even worth mentioning. Just how he says farewell to Podrick, says he's the most loyal, squire ever.
Mm-hmm. Could you imagine the bumbling idiot that would be Sir Podrick Payne?
Yeah.
Had he gone through with that shady, seedy deal? Would have been that cool. Well, oh mighty overlord, what do we think? Is the time upon us? Can I speak of scones?
I'll grant that.
I think you much. I have a maple nut scone from Sunrise Bakery and Cafe, and it is sufficient.
You guys are such fucking assholes.
You want to catch us in other places doing other things, you can find our social medias at Thrones N Scones. Yes, all of them. ThronesandScones.com for the links to every dang thing and every dang place you could listen to us. And we'll be back tomorrow with episode 4 of season 4. Until then, you down with GOT?
Yeah, you know me.
That was like 2 seconds on a scone, you son of a bitch.
What did you find on your store shelf the other day?
Oh yeah, so I was actually going to the grocery store to pick up scones, naturally.
Of course.
And I actually got a little nervous. I know I've been talking, as Tony would say, big dick game about this grocery store, because they told me they make new scones every single day. Turns out they repeated a scone. So
there is no worse crime.
Yeah. And I've only been to this grocery store maybe 4 or 5 times, and I've already seen the same scone twice, which is not a good sign. That did not make me very happy. But they did have a savory scone that I hadn't tried yet. We reviewed that sucker already yesterday, or 2 days ago. But
yes,
I also went back. Sorry, I took a bite of I'm just building some suspense. I also went back to check the ice cream. I ended up getting an ice cream for Jenna, which was this chocolate. I don't know. It was called like late night snack. Had a bunch of shit in it. It sounded disgusting. But I figured Jenna would like it because it had a bunch of chocolate and stuff in it. She did not like it, so effed that one up. And then
way to go. Have you moved out yet?
No, not yet. Although with all the recording we've been doing lately, I'm surprised that she hasn't moved out yet. But anyway, then out of the corner of my eye, I saw this little darling, whiskey flavored ice cream. I should correct that. It's not even whiskey flavored ice cream. It's literally, I will read the carton. It says whiskey in ice cream, period. That's it, period. It doesn't say the words, period, but I'm just emphasizing the punctuation.
Sure. Thank you for your consistency.
Pretty good.
You like it?
Yeah, I'm throwing a free little food review in there for our listeners.
It doesn't sound. I mean, it's the closest thing I've had. I had like a bourbon caramel drizzle ice cream or something once. That was like okay, but it was a bit much. I thought. I'm not a huge whiskey fan to begin with, but that just seems excessive. There's no other flavor. It's just like vanilla and whiskey.
Correct.
But when we were in Pittsburgh, one of the trends were alcoholic milkshakes. Like that was something you would go to. So I feel like that's kind of like the solution, right? You just take some milk, throw that ice cream in there, and you got yourself a whiskey vanilla milkshake.
I'm wondering exactly how they do it because they obviously can't put that much whiskey in it. It definitely I can taste the whiskey, and it's even got that whiskey aftertaste, a little bite to it. But I wonder how they do it and keep the balance must be pretty low with on the whiskey side because how do they keep it so frozen? Because whiskey obviously wouldn't freeze.
They could. I'm talking out of my ass here because I don't know if this is how science works. You could like boil it down, right, and essentially start boiling off the alcohol, but keeping enough flavor to the point where you could mix it in. Mm-hmm. But you wouldn't get a bite from that, I don't think. I don't really know.
It's true. That's not a bad point. That may very well be exactly what they do. Let's just go ahead and say that's what they do.
Besides, when you reach for, obviously, whiskey, ice cream, that's it. What do you guys mess with on the ice cream spectrum?
Ooh. Favorite? Mint Oreo.
Yeah. Mint Oreo. That's very specific. Okay. I can't fault that. That sounds delicious. You know, I have like the trusty, cheap but good brand of ice cream at my local grocery store. Their mint ice cream is not green.
Oh, that's weird.
Which is like, it tastes fine, but it throws me off. And I don't really like to eat it.
Is it like a mint chocolate chip or chocolate shavings, or what is it?
Yeah, it's like the shaving one, like mint flake or whatever they.
Yeah, there was a generic that my grandparents used to get, and it was the same thing. But it was so good. Like it was like you felt wrong eating it because you wanted that green, but you're like, holy shit, it's just so consistent.
Exactly.
I also like, and again, this is because I'm old, butter pecan is like one of my favorite ice creams.
Jeremy, all of a sudden I'm much better friends with you. Because I get so much, like occasionally some coworkers and us will go out to lunch, and there's like anywhere we go, we have to pass 9 different frozen yogurt shops to go there. And so occasionally we'll stop on the way back, and like for whatever reason that always sounds good, and I'll get it and just
it's amazing.
Get tormented to hell.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the problem is. Like, what's old people about that?
They're
Deliciousness
like, are you
caramel?
80? And I'm like, because I like butter pecan? Like, because it's delicious. Have you had it?
I didn't. I didn't order war ration racism ice cream here. I ordered butter pecan.
Well, it amazes me too, because usually when you think of stuff like that, it would be, you know, they're bashing you because it's you know, not sweet or kind of a weird flavor. Butter pecan ice cream is like extremely sweet.
Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't hold back. So I don't get what the shit is about. I'm not a big fan of butter pecan ice cream, but I don't fault you weirdos that eat it.
Are you a milkshake or malt person though?
Let me hit my favorite ice cream up quick.
Fuck you. We're not talking about you. You don't like butter pecan.
Real quick. Probably gonna piss some people off. But my favorite ice cream is just vanilla.
See, I will actually say that in the last year, I think pretty much all that I bought is vanilla ice cream. And it's a recent thing, but I recently discovered this beautiful, beautiful Italian dessert known as an affogato. You guys had these?
No.
This is where you take a double shot of espresso and you pour it over ice cream, and it just melts into this incredible liquid.
Oh my God, I'm going to do that. I'm literally going to do that tonight.
You should, I swear to you, it's the best, simplest thing ever.
Fuck, that sounds amazing to me.
Like, I'm a big fan of cookie dough. I love strawberry. I love just making the rounds on the ice cream. And it's literally like, I try not to buy it very much anymore, but when I do, vanilla and keep it simple. There's a beauty to the old vanilla ice cream. Now, Hans.
Yeah.
It's the 21st century.
Yeah.
You can't just go and buy vanilla because they'll say, what kind? Yeah. So are you going vanilla, homemade vanilla, French vanilla, vanilla bean?
Old-fashioned vanilla?
Old-fashioned vanilla. There you go.
Yeah, I have this argument all the time. It's not even an argument. It's just a rant at this point every time I go to the grocery store. Because honestly, I don't know the difference between them, and I don't really care. I just want the cheapest vanilla ice cream, and I just pick whatever's up. We don't do ice cream too often. So it's not like I've had the opportunity. If I ate ice cream all the time, I would absolutely do a comparison. I'd go the first, like the vanilla bean, straight to the home original vanilla or whatever they say, homemade vanilla. I know they got a bunch of them. I think that is a comparison that needs to be done. Unfortunately, I'm not the man for that job. I don't think. Maybe our next podcast.
It will be blindfold ice cream tasting.
What rhymes with vanilla ice cream?
I don't know. More vanilla ice cream.
Exactly.
Yeah. Vanilla ice. I was trying to think of the rapper, and then I realized it's still the same 2 words. But so I did look this up actually recently because I had to now buy vanilla ice cream, and I was like, well, which kind is the best? I don't know about the old fashioned or homemade or anything, but from vanilla bean, vanilla, and French vanilla, the difference. So vanilla is like, okay, standard, blah, blah, blah. Vanilla bean has vanilla beans in it instead of like vanilla extract, so you can see the bits. And then French vanilla is, instead of just using egg whites in the ice cream making process, there are egg yolks in it as well. So it's like
better.
Going toward a custard type thing. It's a little bit richer.
Speaking of that, are you an ice cream or custard person? Or, sorry, ice cream, custard, or frozen yogurt?
Frozen yogurt can eat my asshole. And I eat it because it's around, but I don't like it.
It's disgusting.
So the only thing, do you guys have TCBYs around you?
Are those essentially where you go and pour shit into a bowl and they weigh it?
It's the one that's not that. It's just like an ice cream shop. They swear it's frozen yogurt, but it just tastes like ice cream. I'm 100% convinced that they're lying to me, but it's like hard scooped from a thing, and that tastes great. But like the ones where you pour out
are nasty as fuck.
So
I can't stand it.
I can do the frozen yogurts, the pour out ones.
Yeah.
And when I don't really even notice, this is just probably how much I don't really eat sweets or care for sweets that much. But to be honest, ice cream, frozen yogurt, custard, couldn't even really tell you the difference. The only thing I will say is when I go to the frozen yogurts, I used to do fruit flavored. I usually go for like that mango or that peach, which I don't do with ice cream. So I don't know. Some little tidbit for you guys.
A little bit targeted. I like ice cream and custard. I think both bring their merits to the table. I will say I'm a big fan of texture in ice cream. If you get that graininess or that iciness at all, I'm out.
Me too.
I want a nice smooth thing, and I think more often custard is more consistent with that nice little ice cream pull. So I appreciate the custard.
Yeah, I like myself. So custard would be like what's at Culver's, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That is good. That is good. Creamy.
Shout out to Culver's.
Shout out to
Sponsors.
Sponsorship.
I once asked. I mean, Hans, you were trying to give the Taco Bell employees just requests on things to do that weren't on the menu. Yeah. I did once ask as a youth if they would put cheese curds in my chocolate concrete mixer.
Oh shit!
They would not. I just wanted to, because I think what it stems from is. Did you guys watch the Rugrats?
Yeah, of course.
Nintendo, right? Nintendo
there was an
Junior?
episodes.
I don't know one of those.
Yeah. Do you mean Nick?
Nickelodeon, not Nintendo.
Sure, fuck you both. Yep.
Nickelodeon 64?
It was the cube one, right?
So wait. No, that was on Super Nickelodeon.
There was this commercial in an episode of Rugrats for these popsicles called chocolate cheese. And I think ever since then, I was just obsessed with the idea of mixing the two. And so, plus the cheese curds come out so hot and greasy. The ice cream's so cold. Oh, I love the temperature difference. And it was like that 15-year-old confidence that just like, I can say anything I want to anybody at ever. And I just asked, thinking the worst they could say is no. And that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, you must be into that hot and cold thing with your... see, the espresso on ice cream immediately turns me off.
You gotta do it.
No. Then you're just
gotta do it.
It's just like some weird melted ice cream mixture.
Yeah. So it doesn't all melt at once.
Yeah.
Do you drink it? I don't get it.
You drink like the end of it. You eat like half of it, and then the rest you drink.
See, I don't like... the second my ice cream starts melting, I'm done. I don't want it.
Oh, really? See, that to me is the best part of the ice cream. It's like when it's melty.
Yeah, Jenna puts her ice cream in the microwave. It's messed up.
Okay, you have to leave her.
It's messed up, guys. We need an intervention.